Hey guys, Thunder here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my other videos. Today we're back and we're building. So let's get to it. Okay, so today we are doing every room is a different Halloween character. So let's see who we get first. I have the classics like the skeleton, the vampire, witch, ghost, clown, and of course a pumpkin, which we'll be doing first for the outside of the house. I do already have the shell built. So yeah. To me, a pumpkin, orange and green, because of the stem. So we're just gonna make the roof of this house green. I'm going to do the roof trim in a green as well. So yeah. Then just honestly wallpapers. I really wanted it to have that pumpkin look, so I did just get rid of the green and just go with the orange. This is a base game orange, but I really think it fits well. Like, I really like the look of it, and I like how it does. But then I realized that this roof at the back, I don't like it that much, so I'm going to try to, like, bring in the adjusters on this one, but then it kind of leaves a gap back there. And, yeah. Yeah, so I just had to deal with it hanging over a little bit, but I did not want it hanging over the entire way. So, and then I wasn't certain if this was the orange that I wanted to go for. I believe I keep it. I believe this is the orange I end up with in the end. I don't know. I felt like it was the best. I really felt like this was the best. So, full disclosure, this is a voiceover. I did build this house, and now I'm doing the voiceover. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking, I guess, in both as if I'm building it now and as if I've already built it. There's really no way for me to differentiate between the two, but yeah. I'm just going to use this door. I'm not limiting my packs, but that is a base game door, so far I am doing well. I don't think it ends up doing well, but, you know. And there's going to be a lot of different shades of orange on the outside. Can't help that. I have to go with what's in the game. These windows are also base game. Really like them, though. They came out really well. And then just gonna grab this door. It matches almost with the front door, so yeah, I'm pretty certain it was also base game. Gonna grab some of these smaller base game windows and put them throughout the house. And this house, I don't know how much it ends up being, but it will be available for download on my gallery. My ID is Thundera Shadow. Like I said, just kind of putting some windows down and just trying to figure out what and where I want to do for the rest of the outside. Just looking at the landscaping, this is where I kind of go back to the green thought, because it was like, I kind of need that. I need some help here with the landscaping, and yeah. So just going to grab this green bush and put it a couple of times, but I do end up having to scoot it closer to the house, because for some reason, it just never wants to place, like, near the house. But then I'm checking to make sure that there's no, nothing poking through a wall. But yeah, I can never get it to place close to the house when just originally putting it down, but yeah. But I do like how this house ends up looking. It's really cute, really pretty. So just gonna put some plants in, and I don't really do much landscaping. Like, I don't consider myself good at landscaping. Yeah. I really just don't. But I do put on move objects here. So, just because I wanted this one plant to be closer to the other one, and it needed to be. So, yeah. And then just going to put some more of these over here. I think so far all I've used is base game. I think. And then I'm going to use a Seasons mailbox, because why not? They didn't really have a pumpkin one, but they did have an orange one that had, like, leaves on it, so I felt like that was probably the best option of them all. And then I'm going to use some Romantic Garden for the flowers. I really love the flowers that came in that pack. I cannot help it. I love them. I know that this one has a different color base to it, but I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to size that one down a little bit, though, and put it over there. And then put some more of these other ones. And, yeah. Just kind of filling it out, the rest of the flowers. I was able to stick to just orange and a little bit of red in there, so that is good. Again, terrain paint. This is just for the pathway. I'm not doing the terrain paint just yet. I think I do that off camera anyway. So this is just kind of for the pathway leading up to the door. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab a few trees. Just, you know, I thought about the dead trees, but if I had gotten something like vampire or ghost or skeleton for the outside, I think I probably would have gone with the dead trees. But since I got pumpkin, I did not really want the dead trees. Just really did not. So kind of just trying to look and see what else I could put. I did want a couple of the orange trees because I know that we have orange trees. Well, orange-ish trees. Yeah. So I'm going to size this one down. I think that one is from Cats and Dogs. So the pack thing, out the window. It was never in the window, but yeah. And then just looking for pumpkins. I found these from Seasons, and I just put pumpkins. All the pumpkins that I could. Yeah. Just really wanting to put them and have them and make sure that everybody understood this was a pumpkin outside. So, yeah. And then kind of just looking because when you type in pumpkin, it starts to bring up other stuff, but once you actually put pumpkin, and it might just be, I'm just now realizing, it might be because I had the filters on. I did not realize I still had the green and orange filters on, so yeah. But this pumpkin carving station had to be there. And then I was kind of just trying to see what other pumpkin stuff we had. Like, I'm trying to make sure that this is pumpkin. So these are called pumpkin trees, and I think they're actually lights or something. Really cute though. Do like them. I changed the pot to be orange, just to kind of match with the rest of the theme out here. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to get like a grill, but there is not a green or orange grill that I really like. So I just go with a black one. Not really fitting the theme, but I felt like it was needed, so yeah. You had to have something to do out here. But as far as the picnic table goes, I do find an orange one. That is from, I think, Outdoor Retreat. And then I do go with some pots. Well, also I put Patchy out. He has pumpkins beside him, and like his head is a pumpkin, I believe, so he had to be in the pumpkin part of this house. Just had to be. And I had so much fun doing this, just looking at the Halloween characters in such different ways. It was a ton of fun. And then just putting out a few of these planters. I don't think you could plant pumpkins in them. You probably need the oversized plots to do that, but you know, it was fine. So now we're going to go and roll for our next one. And this is going to be for like the entryway living room area. And we got Vampire, which is a lot of fun as well. Now you may be thinking I'm only going to use the Vampire pack. That is definitely not true. I definitely use more than just the Vampire pack. However, I kind of try to be strategic in what I do where. And I also realized I forgot a trash can outside, so I'm just going to plop that down real fast. Again, not really green or brown or green or orange, but I think it'll be fine. So yeah. Just looking for a light, and this is where I decided to go to the Vampires pack and just see what was in there. So yeah, I do grab this, and for me, the colors for Vampire is like black and red and a little bit of purple, so I kind of lean into those colors. And then just kind of looking at the Vampire's flooring, I was really excited about this tile, and I think this would have worked had it been the kitchen I was doing, but I decided instead to go with this wood. Just a little bit more what I think it would look like. And then just kind of moving some of these plants out of my way because they were in the wall. Yeah. It's still poking through a little bit, but it will just have to be okay. So then just looking at the wallpaper and going again with the Vampire one, I was trying to use as much of the Vampire pack as possible. Just because I did spin for a Vampire, and that's like one of the better packs to use in my opinion for this. But I didn't want it to be all Vampire everywhere. And this is also not a Vampire person in here, so I could give it like a TV and things. And I did use the Life and Death pack for the console down there, like the TV stand, and then the spooky stuff pack. They have this rug. This is where a lot of the purple kind of came into play, because the rug is a bat, but it's got a purple background. So I had to have the purple. And of course we have the orange in here just from the door and the window. So yeah. Then going back to the vampires pack, I really liked this purple couch, but I did not like the chairs. So I just went and looked, and I ended up on these chairs. This is from Enchanted by Nature. I really do like these chairs, and them in the black just kind of complement so well everything else that was going on in this room. Now, the rest of the room, some of it's an entryway area, some of it is not. So, yeah. I just wanted to see what all we had out of the vampires pack. And I found the organ, and I was like, when else am I going to get to put an organ in one of my houses? Or in a house that I build? So I too decided to go with a black and like gray organ. Really like that. I thought it was a lot of fun. And the thing is, I actually forgot, like, I'm putting in the vampire bat plushie. I actually did forget that I had not put in doors yet, as I'm putting in lamps. I had not put in doors to any of the rooms. So the bathroom, the 2 bedrooms, no doors right now. This book does not stay either, but yeah, there's no doors right now. None. And, yeah. I do put out this, like, little skeleton head thingy. And just kind of looking through to see what else I could use from a Vampires pack. I don't think I used anything else. But I do go with spooky stuff just to kind of see what's there. And I put out this candy ball. At first I put it out in, like, the moon swatch. But I just didn't think that would work. So I put it in the black and white striped one. And just kind of looking to see what else. I did use these pictures. I think one of them moves in the end, like, not literally, like, well, actually, I think these pictures actually do, like, their eyes move or something, but I think I moved one of them off of the wall. Off that wall is what I'm saying. So, yeah, just gonna have to go and look and see. I wanted a coat rack, and I wanted the umbrella stand. That was for certain. I don't remember what else I put in this house. Shoes. Yeah, shoes. Definitely had to have shoes. And just kind of making it a nice, like, entryway area. And then gonna go and grab a backpack, because I knew at this point that there was 2 bedrooms and that I wanted one of those bedrooms to be a kid. And yeah. And then I don't know when I was, like, thinking, oh, I did not put any doors in, but yeah, probably soon. It had to have been soon, but yeah, so just putting in some plants though, making it look nice. And then over here it was like, okay, so I need something for this wall. And then it was really like, what do I put? And I think this is about where I'm like, wait a minute, how am I getting into these other rooms? It's got to be coming up soon, because I know it's before I spend for the next. Yeah. So that, I moved that painting over here, shrink it down a little bit. It's fine. Hopefully, if the eyes do move or something, that they'll be fine. I just kind of put in some black doors. Like I said, I kind of forgot I needed doors. So, yeah. And I'll play test this before I put it on the gallery. I have not as of this recording, but we're going to go spin for our next one. This is going to be for the bathroom, and we get... Or no, this is for the kitchen. Yeah, we do the kitchen next. So this is for skeleton. That should be fun. When I think skeletons, I mainly think white, but I also think black for some reason. I guess because usually the skulls are shown with, like, black eye sockets and stuff. So, yeah, there's that. Just trying to figure out what flooring I want to use. I think I just go with this from base game. Like these little white squares. And then I really wanted to go with something fun on the walls. I just did not find a pattern that I really liked, so I just used the tile from the Home Chef Hustle pack. And I felt like that was good. That seemed good. Just going to go and grab some cabinets, I believe it is. Or no, first a light. Definitely need a light. And I ended up grabbing, trying to think. It's not going well, but I'm trying to think about which light I grabbed. A couple of the lights that I wanted just wasn't putting out the light that I wanted, so I did go with this because it almost looks like a bit of a bone pattern anyway. So yeah, I think that's from high school years. And then the curtains, I think I skipped over the curtains in the living room, but I think that they're both from the Spooky Day stuff pack. It's a good pack to use. Just going to use these base game counters. And yeah, they're just white. They're just white. My kitchen did not end up being as big as I thought it would be because I forgot to put in the doors and just had to put them in where I could. So I'm going to grab a black refrigerator and a black stove. I think they're both just base game. Yeah, they're both just base game. And then a sink. I ended up going with this one from base game as well. Just really nice, really simple. And then a trash can. I don't know why I was grabbing a trash can at this point because there's like nowhere to put it. But I kind of just stick it in the middle of stuff for a while. And then it's like, well, I could just go over here by this door. I mean, it would suck to be by the door, but it is what it is at this point. And then a dining room table. And at this point, I was still thinking that there was only going to be 2 Sims in this house. You could fit a total of 4 Sims in this house, but I was thinking that there was only going to be 2, so there's only 2 chairs, but maybe everybody just kind of eats in shifts. That's what we're going to go with. So I just grabbed that table and then these chairs. These chairs are from Paranormal. And then on top of the table, I think I just put a plant-looking thing. Yeah, this from Eco Lifestyle. You're not seeing the person sitting across from you, but it looks nice. But I was also kind of sad because so far we had not gotten any skeleton stuff in here. I did grab the rug from Spooky Day. It's a skull, so check mark for the skeleton, I guess. Just kind of trying to figure out what else to put. I did put out these utensil things from Horse Ranch. I did put out a plant from Life and Death. I didn't want that one. I wanted the black one. Just bring in a little bit more of that. And because I felt like the white one just kind of got lost. The skeleton bear would have been nice, but we already had the vampire bear, so I did put out the skeleton keys. I was going to try and put him in, but there was really, really no room. Then I realized that to get the actual skeletons, like the ones from Jungle Adventure and stuff, I was probably going to have to put on hidden objects and live edit objects, and I accidentally moved a window somehow in the process. Well, I accidentally put on move objects again, and I was like, okay, that should work, and then it's like, wait a minute. That was the wrong thing to put on. I was supposed to put on hidden objects and live edit objects, not move objects. That was already on. So yeah, we're gonna go put that on now, and then we're going to search again for skeleton and just see what we can find. Obviously they were also not showing up because of the tags I had on, so I just grabbed this one skeleton. There are these 3 ones from Jungle Adventure, but I just grabbed the one from Get to Work. So then kind of just looking, I was like, okay, well, what about some sort of painting or picture or something? Surprisingly, we have a lack of artwork for just skeletons in this game. I figured though this tarot card might have a couple of them, and I found Bonehilda. I mean, she's a skeleton. So I looked through the rest of them to see, but there was not another skeleton. Honestly, kind of heartbreaking, but I get it. I get it. Not that many skeletons, I guess, is in a tarot card deck. I don't know. Just kind of looking to see if there was anything else I could put on the wall, and I honestly did not find anything, I don't think. I really don't think I found anything else. I was trying so hard. I was hoping that Life and Death would have something else for me, but I just never found what I was looking for. Like, maybe there is another skeleton picture somewhere, but did not find it. And then I was like, okay, well, let me go and look and see, because I know that we have the, like, little jars with the cow plants and such. So let me just go look and see if that is there. And I guess I remembered wrong, because it's like an actual cow plant. It was not a skeleton cow plant, but I didn't have anywhere to put that anyway, so. But that made me think of little Simsy's kit, the Cozy Gamer kit. And I was like, okay, well, let me go look for that plant that she has that hangs on the wall, because it has a cow plant in it. And honestly, cow plants is a way that your sim can go in the Sims, like can pass away in the Sims. So it's like, that's fine. We'll just have a nod to how it happens. And then it was time to go and spin for the bathroom, and we got Clown. And this is a chaotic room build, y'all. Just so chaotic. Yeah, so we're gonna start with a light, and when I think clowns, I think colors. So I grabbed this light. I think this is from Seasons. And we're going to use it in this color. So all the polka dots, all the colors, this bathroom. It's not for the faint of heart. We're going to use this wallpaper, this tile from Love Struck. Don't worry, the floor, I think, just ends up being a white. I'm not that crazy. I could have used the puzzle pieces, though. It would have worked perfectly. But I think I just used this hexagon tile. Yeah. And then as far as the window coverings go, I actually ended up getting rid of the one window because it was going to get hidden by the shower tub combo I picked anyway. So, yeah. But on this window, I do use these Seasons curtains, like the smaller one. And at first, I just kind of sized down this one because I didn't like my other options. So, but this window ends up leaving, so it's not a big deal. You just have to deal with it being short and small for a little bit on your screen. But as far as the shower tub combo goes, I know that this one has a lot of weird ones, and it actually has one with elephants on it, and very colorful elephants at that. And at first I put it like this, but once I put the toilet in and I realized that there was really nowhere for the sink to go, it's kind of where things changed. But honestly, clowns are kind of like making me think of circus, and you also usually sometimes can see an elephant at the circus. So not only was it colorful, but it fit with the whole clown thing. So yeah, that's where that shower tub combo is coming in. And then as far as the sinks go, that's where I just took out the window and changed everything around. I went with this sink. There's two of them. It reminds me of a clown's big red nose. So, yeah. And the white kind of just goes with, like, the white face paint that clowns usually wear. Yeah. I told you guys, this is a crazy bathroom. So we're just going to grab a couple of mirrors. Going to put in the toothbrushes on both sinks. Going to put in the soap. And I actually went with this soap bottle because I knew I could get some crazy colors coming in. And I did just that. Crazy colors galore everywhere. And then as far as these towels go, again, crazy colors. I decided to put mismatched towels. I've never done that, but yeah, we have one yellow, one blue, and then all it really needed, besides one other touch that I knew I had to put in, whatever room got the clown, it had to have. So I put it in the toilet paper, but then it needed one final touch. It needed two final touches. For one, it needed artwork. One picture in particular, the tragic clown. How can I build a tragic clown bathroom without adding in the tragic clown? I can't. And then the last part of this, I needed that one rug. This one right here that is rainbow and it's like circles and bubbles, and it had to happen. So this will determine our last two rooms. What is going to be what? We are spinning for the main bedroom right now, which is going to be witch. And when I think of witches, I think green and purple and black. Don't ask. I don't know. I guess because of the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz. She doesn't have purple, but for some reason purple just kind of goes with witches for me. So as far as the ceiling light goes, that one was a little difficult to figure out. Yeah. Just trying to figure out what I wanted to put in here, what would fit, what would work. I can't remember what I ended up going with. I really cannot remember. I wanted to use the Realm of Magic light. That was not going to happen. But this light, from the Decor to the Max kit, this is where the purple started coming in. Yeah. And then as far as the wallpaper goes, this is kind of where I'm leaning more towards using green and purple because we already had used a lot of black. A lot of black. So I really wanted to get a bit more color in. And just kind of looking through, I really ended up liking this wallpaper. I don't remember where it's from. I want to say vampires, but I might be wrong on that. And then as far as flooring goes, I used the bright purple floor. I'm not certain where that's from either, but I liked it. And then I changed the light to black just because it seemed like it would be better. As far as the bed goes, I wanted to use the one from Realm of Magic. I really did, and I was going to make it work. But it's just a little too big. Not only with the light, but also with the windows, and it was not going to work. So I ended up opting for this one from, I want to say it's from Life and Death. And I really did end up liking that one. I thought it fit. It could have been a little bit darker, but I still think it fits. As far as the end table goes, I used one from Life and Death. I just kind of changed it to black just because it looked better that way. It just honestly looked better that way. And it kind of complemented because of the gold on the bed and then the gold on the two nightstands. It complemented very well. And then just putting in some curtains, trying to match things. Yeah. I do end up, though, using these from the Paranormal pack. These are, I use them in black. They're really cool, really pretty, and they do definitely give a bit of a witchy vibe. And then I changed these to black just because I would rather the curtain color match. But, and then just looking for some sort of light for the nightstands, I ended up using ones that have candles with them. I thought about this one, but that was just a little much. These ones right here, I think that's from My Wedding Stories. I like the idea of the plants with the candles just because, and a lot of like the spells and stuff that I've seen witches do on like the different movies and stuff, they always seem to have a candle of some sort. And then a dresser. This room is not big. None of this house is really all that big, but this room is definitely not big. I was going to use this one, but then it kind of just poked through the wall too much. And honestly, I just did not like how big it was. So I ended up going with this purple one from Base Game. Just something small, something easy. I did scoot it quite far into the wall, but it does not poke out the back, as you can see. It had to happen. It had to happen. So just going to go and grab like a plant or something for the top. I really wish I had remembered though that there was a cauldron in the spooky stuff pack. I think earlier I called that spooky day pack, but the spooky stuff pack. I really wish I had remembered that there was a cauldron in there because I could have used it. Because obviously the cauldron from the Realm of Magic pack is not going to fit this bedroom. Trying to remember what pack is what. But yeah, just putting out some books and a plant over there. And then just kind of trying to figure out, okay, what else can I get in here to say witch? So I do end up going with the Realm of Magic has these pictures. This one right here, this picture of the like village or whatever, it definitely looks witchy. And then this other picture has pictures of potions, so I did go with that just to kind of say witch. But yeah. 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 So then just kind of looking to see what else I could put. I did end up grabbing a familiar and putting it on the dresser. She just needed one. She really did. And then just kind of looking I do use this rug in purple, and I kind of make it to where it's going to be like the different moon faces are kind of like surrounding the bed a bit. So I kind of like that. And then the dried herbs, I didn't have anywhere else to put them because they would not work out in the hallway or like out in the kitchen. So they had to go in here. And then just kind of looking, and I really wanted to use the mirror from this pack, and I was like, okay, where can I put a stand-up mirror that wouldn't be like totally crazy? So I do move the hanging herbs and then the picture. I could have put the picture a little bit higher on the wall, but I still think it works. I'm just gonna scoot that mirror back just a little bit into the wall. Okay, so now moving on to this last room. There's only one possible choice left, so I didn't bother spinning. We're gonna do a ghost room, and it ends up being for 2 children. I honestly think though that it's like a child and a teen in one room, and we had to have the ghost wallpaper. Had to. Like, if you're gonna build a room based off a ghost, you have to have the ghost wallpaper, no doubt. As far as the flooring goes, I just wanted a simple white floor, so that's what I'm looking for right now. I was looking at the spooky stuff pack stuff, did not really like it. I just went with this white flooring from Cats and Dogs. Really liked the wallpaper. Really liked the wallpaper. So just gonna go white. Just honestly, that's what I think of when I think ghost. It's just white. So yeah. But as far as the curtains go, I do just go and grab some base game like plain white ones. It's going to be these ones right here. And I did change them because I did not see the white swatch at first, but yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, just gonna go and grab the white and put the curtains everywhere first, and then we'll go and grab a light. And honestly, this room came together pretty well, pretty easily. Not much to it. If you hear a dog in the background, one of my dogs is sleeping real heavily. I put this light, I just kind of like the different shapes, and I've seen, like, if you watch the original, I don't know if it's the original Casper or what, but one of the Caspers, like, the 3 uncles have different body shapes as ghosts, so I thought that was a cool thing to have. And then just going to put out these beds. Again, I think that there is two quote-unquote kids. I think one's a teen, one's a child. I do search up ghost. I put out these 2 ghost lights just to remember to use. And then this one shelf. It supposedly looks like a ghost. I can see it. But honestly, this room just kind of comes together pretty easily, pretty fast. Just going to move these to where they're going to sit eventually. Gonna go and grab a desk. I grabbed this one from Seasons. I just really like the pattern on the background. Honestly, they're just gonna get like a simple computer in like a grayish swatch because that was as close to white as I could come for that. And yeah, just gonna grab a base game chair as well. Just trying to find a rug. That was a little difficult because the spooky stuff rug only comes in pumpkin, bat, and skull, so I really wanted something to complement the ghosty part of this, so that was not going to work. This rug from Life and Death is nice, but I did end up going this one. It's honestly just because it was nice and it was white. So yeah. And then just looking for some books. I just wanted to put some on the desk, so I put these. I honestly was thinking maybe they'll go up on the shelf where I don't have to raise them up, but that didn't happen. So then just looking for a nightstand to put these ghost lights on. I ended up using one from right here, Tiny Living. So it was a really nice small one, and then just I had to raise up the lights, but I was going to use these lights even if they're floating. Like, I don't care, they're ghosts, they can float. That was my reasoning there. If they're floating, they're ghosts, they're fine. They can float. So just gonna raise up this other one. And then kind of just looking around to see if anything else was needed. And I really wanted more stuff. Like, I wanted some clutter on these shelves. I wanted something. And then I found these pumpkins, which I guess opened up from the pumpkin carving station when I put on debug cheats. So I put out the ghost pumpkin. Just trying to figure out what could go up on the shelves. Honestly, I put out these games. And then I put out... I'm trying to think what else I put out. I did put out this white penguin. This is where I kind of was like, okay, well, they're not twins. I think that they're 2 different ages. So I kind of decorate the one side with some stuffed animals and some plushies and things, and then the other side is kind of a little bit more cleaner and less going on. So I did put out this fairy freezer bunny. I know that these aren't technically ghosts, but they are white-ish, so I did put out that from Nifty Knitting, the little octopus. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out what else to put. And then I came in, one item came in really clutch from Life and Death. It's a literal ghost in a jar. Love it. Put out a white one, put out a blue one. They both had their own little ghost in a jar. Thought that was so much fun. Then just trying to figure out, because I honestly did not want to put pictures on the wall, just because I really like this wallpaper. It's so cute, and I'm like, I can't see me using this any other time. So it was like, okay, well, what about a wardrobe? But then this one was so big, and I was worried about this other bed not working. So I did end up, I tried moving it into the wall as much as I thought I could. Probably could have gone a little bit more, but I don't know, it wasn't the right move. So I put out these tiny living room ones, and that means that I get to put out a little bit more clutter. They're both on the same side of the room, but I figure that they're one's for one kid and one's for the other. They're also both the same color, but lighting glitches, so yeah. On top of them, I put, I'm trying to remember. On one, I put like this giraffe statue. I don't know. I thought it looked good. And then the other one, scrolling past some of these gnomes kind of made me remember that we do have a ghost gnome. And I was just going to go and look and find it, but then it was like, nah, that's going to take forever. Let me just search up gnome and find him that way. And I put the ghost gnome on top of the other one for the child. I think the child is like fully ghost. But yeah, that is my house based off of the different Halloween characters. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my other videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.